All right, welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you've ever flown into Southern California, you've probably got a horror story or two, right? Maybe it involved a 3-hour loop just trying to find your Uber, or dragging your bags through a construction zone that's literally the size of a small city. But today, we're going to look at the ultimate insider's secret for traveling to Los Angeles. It is an absolute game changer, and it's called Hollywood Burbank Airport.
I mean, we all know that feeling of shared dread when arriving in LA. It's usually this sprawling, sensory overload. Just endless walking, massive crowds, and a traffic loop that feels exactly like a parking lot. But then there's BUR, Hollywood Burbank Airport. It's all about breezing through with surprising ease. Really, why start your hard-earned vacation or a super important business trip with a logistical nightmare when you could just touch down, grab your things, and go?
The whole boutique airport experience basically boils down to 3 incredibly effortless steps. Land, grab your bag, start your trip. Because BUR is just so efficient and easy to navigate, you really don't need to plan half your day around the airport itself. Imagine actually arriving just 1 hour before your flight, even during the peak holiday travel season. And a massive international hub, doing that means a guaranteed missed flight and a totally ruined day. But at BUR, that's just business as usual. It's a level of speed and convenience that almost feels unheard of in modern travel. So you're probably wondering exactly how they achieve this kind of speed. Well, it all comes down to one magic number: 14. Hollywood Burbank Airport intentionally maintains this amazing boutique feel with just 14 gates. And what that means for you is that crowds are kept extremely small, and the walking distances, whether it's from the drop-off curb to your gate or from your plane to baggage claim, are exceptionally short. You are never hiking a mile through a terminal with a rolling suitcase trailing behind you, desperately checking your watch. You're practically stepping right out of your car and onto the tarmac.
Now you might be thinking, okay, a tiny airport, it's got to be out in the middle of nowhere, right? Actually, geographically, BUR offers a massive location advantage. When you look at the distances, it's pretty wild. It's just 16 miles right to Pasadena. A quick 21-minute drive puts you at the gates of the legendary Rose Bowl. Want to head out to Agora Hills? That's just a 35-minute drive. It is perfectly positioned for accessing major LA hotspots, places like Hollywood and Universal Studios, all without having to endure that soul-crushing crosstown gridlock that LA is so notorious for. And hey, even if you want to skip the rental car completely, the public transit here is absolutely seamless. Step 1, you just take a short 9-minute walk right across the street to the Bob Hope train station. Step 2, you hop on the Metrolink to Union Station. Step 3, catch the Metro A line right into Pasadena. The total travel time, just 69 minutes. In fact, BUR holds a pretty unique title. It is the only airport in the entire area with direct rail connections straight into downtown LA. No shuttle buses, no complicated transfers. The whole shebang is just incredibly simple.
Now look, as much as travelers fiercely love Burbank, there is one pretty undeniable drawback. The current terminal is nearly a century old, and yeah, it's definitely showing its age. But there is a massive, eye-popping number attached to its future: $1.29 billion. That is the incredible investment currently being poured into the highly anticipated Elevate BUR replacement passenger terminal project. They aren't just slapping a fresh coat of paint on this place. They are taking the beloved, highly functional airport and completely transforming it into a modern masterpiece.
The history behind this upgrade is actually quite fascinating. The original terminal was built way back in 1930. Herbert Hoover was president, just to give you some context on that. Fast forward to November 2016, and Burbank voters officially approved Measure B to fund a replacement. Then, in January 2024, ground was finally broken with hundreds of eager community leaders cheering it on. And the finish line for all this? October 2026, when the brand new facility, appropriately named the Icon, opens its doors to the public. The contrast between the 1930s legacy and the vision for 2026 is honestly staggering. The current setup is a bit beige, a bit blocky, and it has these separate security checkpoints for different concourses that can definitely confuse first-time flyers. But the Icon? It brings back true Hollywood glamour with a beautiful, swooping canopy roofline. We're talking about a massive 355,000 square foot space designed from the ground up to be fully accessible for all travelers. And the best part? It completely solves the old security bottleneck by funneling everyone through a single streamlined 8-lane checkpoint.
And it's not just the building itself getting a glow up, it's the entire infrastructure around it. The new design actively solves today's biggest pain points. They're replacing the shared roadway with dedicated separate pickup and drop-off lanes for arrivals and departures, which means way less congestion when your ride pulls up. They are also bumping up the parking from under 450 spots to a whopping 2,000 parking spaces, including 300 EV chargers. And here's the kicker. All of this major expansion happens while fiercely maintaining that exact same 14-gate convenience that makes BUR so incredibly special.
The community support for this project has been truly remarkable. Felicia Williams, the president of the Airport Authority, hit the nail on the head when she said, "From the friendly staff to the airlines to the convenience, Hollywood Burbank Airport is the gem of this community." Elevate BUR isn't just about making things newer and shinier, you know? It's really about preserving a treasured local gem, increasing passenger safety by moving the terminal further from the runways, and, remarkably, doing it all without passing the cost on to local taxpayers.
So, let's just picture this perfect aspirational itinerary for a second. You land effortlessly at a quiet, sunlit 14-gate terminal. There are no frantic crowds. You grab an artisan coffee right by gate A6, hop into a waiting rideshare, and just 21 minutes later, you are pulling up to tailgate for UCLA football at the Rose Bowl. It's just you, the California sunshine, and a totally seamless afternoon. And when it's time to fly home, you drop your car off at valet, where their loyalty program even gives it a free hand wash while you breeze through a single security line. It is literally the absolute perfect way to set a stress-free tone for a trip.
Which kind of brings us to our final thought for this explainer. What if flying into Los Angeles didn't have to be a nightmare? Well, as we've seen today, it really doesn't. Hollywood Burbank Airport proves that travel can still be accessible, fast, and remarkably pleasant. And with the stunning Elevate BUR upgrades arriving in 2026, LA's best-kept travel secret is for sure about to get even better. So what are you waiting for? Next time you book a trip to SoCal, definitely give BUR a try. Thanks so much for learning with me today. I'll catch you on the next explainer.